Under threatening skies and a very wet racetrack, we get set for our International Motorcycle Super Show Amateur 600 Sport Bike Final. Lights on green. And here's the charge down to turn one. Just about all of these riders, Colin, are on those very soft, deep group rain tires.
And we've already had one red flag on an aborted start with these guys. The track conditions are brutal, and they've suffered all weekend from the worst conditions every time they've gone on track. Darren James from the West Coast, they're leading. I guess he knows something about riding in the rain.
Darren James, 229, your race leader on the Yamaha. Up in the second, 198 on the Kawasaki, Dominic Lavoie from Levi, Quebec. And in the third, number 13 on the Honda, that is Tyler Kennedy. He will push the points leader, Rudy Raposo, number 330, back into fourth. So these four riders testing the traction for the first time into turn four. And you saw Raposo on that Yamaha get around into third. And the riders here, here's Kennedy, 13 on the inside of 229 James. It's Kennedy on the Honda who will grab the lead.
Here on the first lap, Kennedy is definitely the aggressor. He's been pushing really hard. Remember, no one knows what the traction's like. The track has dried since we had that red flag. These are really horrible conditions. And look at Raposo, the Rainmeister, trying a wide line there as they come down to the Mario Andretti back straight. And of course, isn't that straight?
Here is Kennedy on that Honda, and Raposo will just blow by on the straightaway. Here's James, 229. He will move up into second.
Definitely Kennedy's strong point is not the straightaway, but look at this. He's trying James on the inside into three.
And he will make the pass up in a second. Nice move there by Tyler Kennedy. The racetrack is starting to dry out, so it's about 50% wet, 50% dry. Here is Rudy Raposo. He'll go through on the inside of a slower rider. And here comes Tyler Kennedy. He's looking for the lead into turn number three. Late braking going in, and Raposo gives him room. And Tyler Kennedy moves back out in front. Raposo in second, 229, Darren James in third.
You got to admire a guy who goes offline onto the wet part of the track to make an out-braking maneuver. Kennedy amazing on the inside into turn three. Here we see him leading into Moss. And remember, the back straight just doesn't seem to be a strong point. Kennedy's Honda getting gobbled up by those Yamahas. We'll see what happens this time.
Out of turn 5B now through that first left-hander of the back straightaway. They're lapping a number of riders here. It is a front-running group of three, 13. Tyler Kennedy on the Honda, but again, Raposo, the Yamaha, much faster up that back straightaway, and he will just blow by to retake the lead as they work into the S's. Raposo, 330-year leader. 13, Kennedy in second, and he'll make a move on the inside. Tyler Kennedy has taken the lead.
Kennedy sweeping back over. He missed the concrete patch. That's crucial. If you run onto that in the wet, you're in big trouble. And here we are on the last lap, and things are going to heat up again, Pat.
They have been swapping positions back and forth. Here comes Darren James into turn number 9 on the outside of Rudy Raposo. James will take the lead. Kennedy moving up here to challenge Raposo for second. He'll move to second. Darren James, 229 out of the final turn. 13, Kennedy ran wide. Raposo back into second. Kennedy will finish third, but Darren James has won it here at Mosport.
What a spectacular victory for Darren James, his first on the national tour. Raposo, the Rainmeister, does most of the leading, but he's second. Kennedy, Lavoie, and Corbet complete our top 5. Moving on to the rest of the top 10, the winner at our opening round, Thomas Masansky, moves up to 7th after a really hard time at Calgary, and our most recent national amateur 600 counter. The men on the podium at Mosport are doing very well in the point standings. Raposo first by hardly any from James. Kennedy moving up to third. Douglas and Masansky complete our top 5. Meanwhile, looking at the rest of the top 10, Olivier Spielbergs is doing very well after his win in Calgary, but his crash at Mosport has put him back to 8th.
That last corner was that was pretty scary. I thought I was going to pitch it away in the last corner, last lap, but came together good. Third's all right.
Well, it was really slippery out there, and I was just kind of trying to hold my line. The tires were starting to go away. A couple back markers played a role in a few of the position changes, but everyone made it through, and it was a good race.
Oh my God, first win, first time on a box on the 600 ever. No regional, first national. First time on the box to win is unreal. Brooklyn Cycles, Pacific Yamaha, Dunlop Tires, Ruthless Racing Incorporated. My mechanic, Jason Jazz.